Welcome to Stock Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. Today, we're talking to a wildly successful entrepreneur, Colleen Biggs, who's currently in charge of Leap for Ladies, which is a fabulous networking and mastermind group. And we're going to be talking about work-life priorities for startups, particularly if you're one of us older ladies that decided to have a business after we had a family. Welcome, Colleen.
Thank you so much, Mary. We love having you part of our community. And you know how much I love just getting together and talking about business. It's one of my favorite subjects. I love to help women solve problems in businesses, just like you do with startups and so many other businesses you work with. I think it's important for us to have community and people around us for us to be able to bounce ideas off of and really be able to, get traction and move ourselves forward.
Exactly. So part of helping with the work-life balance is, like you said, getting that community working for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have some tips on how to actually find communities or start one?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, you want to start looking for uh, communities that have things in common with what you need. So the very first thing would be, I love Meetup. It's great because there's a lot of communities out there. It's a good place to find some online communities, some in-person communities locally. Pay attention to events that are put on in your local community around you. You might hear of some groups of women meeting or men meeting, or, if you're an avid golfer and you want to, increase your golf game and your handicap, you're probably going to want to join a golf league or, get into groups where people are talking more about golf. So again, where are your interests? Where are your needs? And that's the type of group you join. Again, I think it's specific to understanding how and when to join the group. Try it out for free to see if you like it. Most groups allow you to come once or twice to see if you like it, if you connect with them. And remember that the groups you get into, you're not in there to sell, transact, do all that immediately in the group. Your goal is to create connections, and either it's a support group or maybe it's a business referral group or a place where you can get more exposure. What is the outcome you want to get from the group? That's important to know when you join the group. And is it the right people in
So
that group?
sometimes you want a group that's got potential clients, but sometimes you want a group that's got potential strategic partners.
That's right. That's right. I mean, I've joined groups simply for visibility purposes. So I wasn't in that group, not for 1 second to get a client. I was simply in that group for my exposure and visibility on other platforms. So again, I think we really need to look at what are our goals in our in our business or in our family, and what groups do we need to be in to support us in the learning and the education and in, what we are looking to achieve. So you kind of also want to be in a group where you don't feel alone at all. And I would say probably, Mary, just like you, don't you feel the different groups that we've been in along, all the way back to maybe our teenage years, or I'm thinking elementary school when I was in Brownies, that was a group, right?
Yeah.
I learned how to
Yeah.
do a lot of service and my selling skills for the cookies,
Yeah.
all the things we've learned in the groups we've been in along the way. They've taught us skills.
They
We've
have,
learned.
they have.
Yeah,
But one of the mistakes I think some startups make is they get involved in too many groups, and that
that's
speaks
right.
to the balance part of stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have some recommendations about how to tell when you're going off balance and what to
Yeah.
do?
I tell every new business owner, for some reason, I think, Mary, yours and my radar is a little different. Our filters are different because we're more seasoned now. But when I first became an entrepreneur, when a lot of new entrepreneurs are out there, it's like they haven't created that filter yet. So everything is like getting their attention, and oh, I need to go over here and pay this money to do this, and oh, I need to go over here and buy this program, and oh, I need to, and before you know it, they're shoved in so many directions that they're literally not generating income because they've lost sight of the purpose of the business and generating income. And they're thinking, but I got to do this because that's going to help me get the visibility. And then I got to do this and that's going to, and I made the same mistake in the beginning. And it was when I decided that I was going to really hone in my goals. What is it that I need to accomplish? What am I focused on? And I'm only going to align groups, education, collaborations, and connections that are in line with my goals. And so that helps keep you from running after that, like kind of squirrel and, thinking there's a silver bullet. So I would say if you, the biggest alarm that goes off, if you are doing more other, or I guess I would say if you're doing too many things that aren't generating income. So if you're doing all these things and that time is not generating income for you, then you got too much going on. Whatever it is that you're doing for all of these other things needs to stop because they're not producing any income. So I think we kind of get away from the purpose. If you're running a nonprofit and you're raising funds, you're still generating income for that nonprofit, right? But when you're running a non-for-profit, I guess you should say a for-profit business that is generating income and you're paid for a service or a product, then you definitely need to be generating the income to keep that business running.
Sure.
Right. So,
and that means learning to say no to people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that, I'm going to be in business. I'm not going to have any time for my family. Too many people let their families distract them from their business. So being able to say, no, honey, I can't do anything tonight. I'm working on this thing.
I'm glad you said that because focus is one of the 6 habits of a high performer. Focus. If my kids say, well, you're so busy, so we're worried that you're not going to be able to babysit our kids for a week when we go out of, the country or out of town. And I've heard this numerous times. And my husband tells him, no, it's not about that for Colleen. You need to understand that she's focused when she has work to do and when she's busy, she's plugged in and she's focused and she's going to get it done. But if you're traveling next year and she puts it on her calendar, she'll clear her calendar to be focused on those children, right? Get them to school, take care of them. So I think that is when we're talking about balance, Mary, and we're talking about, having your family as a priority and having your business as a priority. My husband and I are going on a cruise. Saturday, we're going to be gone for a week. That's play. That's not work for us. That's us spending time together and traveling and going to different states and seeing different things that's on our bucket list. And so I think that it's very important that we realize that when we're plugged in, we need to plug in. And part of a high performer, of a leader, is being able to understand that I'm doing this for all of them. I'm doing this so that I can provide. And that's kind of the fuel behind it.
Yeah. Ain't mama happy, ain't nobody happy. And it's just as important to have that downtime for your mental health and your productivity as to have that focused time. So thank you so much, Colleen Biggs from Leap for Ladies. I will put some links in the chat so you can get a hold of Colleen and participate in some of her organizations. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful. One of the best things you can do is book a synergy call with me at businessriff.com. And join us again next time for Stuck, Time to Improv.